Good afternoon and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this afternoon. It's a Sunday special. Yeah, it is a Sunday special. We're going to do something a little bit different. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans. We are going to do something a little bit different today. It's a Sunday special. Yeah, it is a Sunday special.
Rather than being on this screen, rather than being on the big screen, we are going to do this screen.
It's a Sunday special.
Fantastic, isn't it?
It is a Sunday special.
We are going to be
rather
this
than
screen
being
on this screen, rather than being on some goals. Some goals from this screen.
It's a Sunday special.
Fantastic, isn't it? Wait a minute, we're getting desktop audio as well. Turn that down. Feedback. Yeah, I had to turn the volume down on that. That's it better. There we go, seeing that. Feedback. Got a lot of echo. Yep, got that sorted. But we do need the volume for this. I need to turn the volume back up. So that's that one turned down. Turn the volume back up on this one. And that's better. Because we're going to look back. We are going to look way back. We're going to look back to the... That's the wrong one. It's this one, isn't it? Nope. Anyway, I've got it on here. Looking back to a fantastic season where Celtic did quite a lot. So anyway, let's get this main screen up and going. And it was the 1985-86 season that this happened.
The Celtic fans delirious. Mo Johnston shows his tremendous value.
Wait a minute. Fucking boo! What's that man Johnson did on our screen?
Pick up the snap chance. But that was down to the driving creative play of Paul McStay in midfield. Racing up the Celtic defence. Forcing the ball wide. Armstead played it across.
You've got to say Johnson.
Johnson
in that position is a similar type of position that Lee Griffiths would have been, wouldn't it?
Correct properly, and Johnston needs more. So a free kick to Celtic.
But fucking boo! There'll be a lot of that this afternoon.
Celtic. Willie McStay will take it.
Willie McStay.
Well won by Dave McKinnon, belying his lack of inches for a simple defender. Archdeacon. Chance again for Celtic. Ryan McLeod.
It's in there. What a way to start. What a way to start.
29 minutes of the first half gone. And Celtic make it two.
Make it two.
And once again it was created over on that far side where Archdeacon did so well.
The old Ibrox with the corners not filled in. Because it is just a stadium of four stands.
Johnston for Celtic.
But watch this through ball though for Johnson.
That's a fine pass to Burns, a great chance for Celtic.
Good Burns.
Brilliantly finished.
Tommy turns, Tommy twists, Tommy Burns.
And if Burns was the finisher this time,
absolute brilliant.
Was the creative genius.
We need to get the booze in for him, don't we?
Oh, what a wonderful start to the second half for Celtic. Look at the pass from Johnston, stripping the Rangers defence.
Maestro was amazing, Kaiser. He was absolutely amazing.
Feeding the ball well wide of Nicky Walker. So it's Celtic again, coming more into the match. Mo Johnston taking on McPherson.
Johnson again, wait a minute. Fucking boo! Well, what's this run by Johnson though? It doesn't need it. Murder McLeod, get in there.
Murder McLeod makes it.
Murder McLeod.
The Rangers supporters
absolutely fantastic.
Right out of the blue. Set up by Mo Johnston, playing it square into the path of McLeod, and there is a Murder McLeod special.
Absolutely brilliant, wasn't it?
At 4 apiece. Well, if ever that justified the reorganisation of the Celtic ranks to put McLeod back into central midfield, that was the goal.
The guy with the umbrella. Absolute quality, that, isn't it?
Which made all the difference. Sending the ball away for the throw. Well, much of that first half was spent in midfield.
Aberdeen.
Second half starting in goal-mouth action. And there's the opener, Mo Johnston. Johnston at his best.
Johnston at his best. I can't keep up.
Saluting the Celtic
Can't keep
supporters
up.
at the beach end. Now this was a goal of the highest quality from a top-class striker. Taking the ball from the throw on the left, turning, easing his way inside, screening
Johnston
the ball
was
from
good when you
defenders,
look at him back
and rifling the shot
when
beyond
he was
Brian
at Celtic.
Gunn.
Oh, there's that old strip.
McGrain with the throw. Johnston. Challenged in the end by Hamilton.
That was a cracking old strip, that one, wasn't it? I'm just trying to pause it on a Celtic player.
Owen Archdeacon again going across. Taking them
That was a cracking strip.
for Celtic. Paul McGuigan joining the Celtic attack.
Corner.
And a great
Oofed.
header by
Ryan McClare. Get in there.
6 minutes gone and McClare does it again for Celtic.
Brian McClare, when you see him now, he's got the same haircut and he's got a beard that makes him look like a hobo.
Well, it couldn't have been simpler or more effective.
Brian McClare.
In-swinger from Archdeacon, McClare with a run towards the near post, a powerful header, and Stewart was left stranded. Well, what a start for Celtic. Ryan McClare, such a key man for them up front.
I wonder if some of I wonder if the coaching staff sometimes get them looking back at old games like this and watch the runs that some of the older players used to make.
McClare
Especially to teach some of the young ones. Here's the maestro.
doing well, winkling the ball free.
Look at that one, look at that pass.
Mo Johnston.
That pass for Paul McStay was unbelievable. That pass was absolutely unbelievable.
First half gone, it's 2-0 to Celtic, and it was brilliantly set up by this pass from Paul McStay. Johnston was one thought in his head, racing in and goal. The power beat Jim Stewart, and Celtic are now 2 ahead. Did Dundee do the rest?
It's St Mirren Sunday special with a bag of cans, says David Castles.
Ball to Murray McLeod. Here's Paul McStay. Finding Aiken. Now McGrain.
Danny
Celtic
McGrain.
in full cry
Oh,
now.
look at that by Brian McClare.
There's Johnston. Absolutely magnificent. One of the goals of the season.
One of the goals of this season.
Set up inside the Celtic half. The final ball from McGrain, releasing Brian McClare. His pace and the final pass to Johnson was perfect. And Stewart this time completely helpless. Crombie. McGrain. Not a McLeod.
I mean, look how high they're defending up the pitch. They just don't get that. They don't get that room in the modern game.
Archdeacon testing Tom Wilson.
Oh,
Makes his way to the byline. Here's Gordon McLeod now. McStay.
off to the outside of the boot.
4-0 to Celtic.
The outside of the boot. Paul McStay hits that into the back of the net. He annihilated teams, didn't he?
Paul McStay thundering in goal number 4.
Hey, watch this. I'm trying to stop it just as he hits it.
Archdeacon on the left. Now look at the way he gets away from Wilson. Holds off the challenge. Now the dummy from Gordon McLeod.
Oversteps here. And he hits it with the outside of his boot. Straight in the back of the net. Absolutely fantastic. What a goal that was. Absolute cracker of a goal. It was a cracking top, wasn't it?
White to McStay. Someone trying to play Celtic offside. We failed. Here's Johnston.
Look how high up the pitch they were defending. Oofed. It's on sale again. Yeah, there's a company doing old replica, something like the Celtic have started getting in on the market as well.
McStay beat the offside trap. Johnston hanging back, going forward, playing it back to
Hooper reminded you of McClare?
Miscued completely, and McClare
Gary
took
Hooper,
advantage.
think so?
the ball landing at his right knee.
Interesting.
Gordon McLeod misjudged the pass. Brian Gallagher still on the ground after a challenge from McGugan. That's for Ryan Hamilton.
Look at the way that we were defending there. We doubled up on the players.
About to start the build up again. Burns is in the way.
Tommy Burns.
And Brian Hamilton checked out of the foul, and Tommy Burns very sensibly.
Oh, what a ball with Burns.
Burns
Going
tried to
run
pick
for
up
that.
a run from
Well, keeper slips with it though.
It's Johnston who's tackling Jim Stewart. But there's a serious problem, I fear, for Brian Gallagher inside the centre circle.
Square Sausage Mick was 18 that year. 1985-86. Jeez, you're well done me.
I
was in second year.
In the air. It looked as though it
Just going
landed
into
awkwardly
third
on
year.
that left ankle. Well, here's the incident which caused the problem. There's Gallagher going up. McGugan won it from him. There's Gallagher going down, stumbling awkwardly, and that's what did the damage.
Would VAR given a free kick for that? Would VAR have sent the player off?
The stretcher has arrived, but the referee...
You didn't get carried off like that at this day and age, do you?
Carry.
You just do not get a copper on the pitch out of the back. Come on, you. Come on, son. Get off.
Gallagher off.
Jesus.
Well, a very sad sight always. Any player leaving the field in such circumstances.
Was already about 70 minutes added time before VAR. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Yeah, let's move it forward a bit.
Beautiful pass forward. Burns sprinting into space, shooting it against the legs of Stewart, and turned behind by Godfrey.
If you notice that the players aren't as close, what happened to Scottish football? Because there's plenty of space between the players. The modern game, you're right on top of the other player, you're hard tackling. I mean, that was the thing that was kind of brought in through the 90s, wasn't it? I mean, 86, you're playing decent football, you're playing a European style of football.
There was a flag up for offside, I think, but that doesn't detract in any way from the goalkeeping of Bonner.
I mean, you're not getting too close to your man.
The angle cross.
This day and age, you're getting total smothered, and there's a lot more body contact. It's a lot more physical, the game, than it was back then. Should do a 6-2 Sunday. Yeah, we should do a 6-2 Sunday. I'm sure I've got that on DVD or VHS. VHS, wouldn't it?
Ball McStay.
What a cracking ball by McStay.
Stewart needed 2 bites. Now that must be a goal for Dundee.
Yes, here it comes! The goal for Dundee!
Well, you don't need to hear any more news than that. Dundee clearly has scored.
Champions! Champions! Dundee have scored.
Incredible scenes. Celtic
Albert Kidd, get in there!
Radios have given the news.
Look at that, brilliant.
The news from the dugout. 1-0 has been conveyed by Brian Scott to the Celtic player.
More physical with less physical contact. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Good old Albert Kidd scored for Dundee.
So close to the 6th, but that doesn't matter because
Crazy scenes that day, yep.
Dundee may have turned the championship Celtic's way.
Yes.
More cheering and could that beat?
Look at the fans, man. Do you know what I mean? No Green Brigade needed then, was there? Look at everybody going absolute mental. Celtic fans go absolutely mental. Look at that. Main standing there. Get it up, yeah. Brilliant.
The photographers clustering around the Celtic bench.
Bobby Lennox on the bench there. Hey!
And there's the final
That's
whistle.
it!
Celtic have won by 5 goals to 0. Andy McGrain goes on to convey the news of the position
Look at that, look, that's what champion. Pitch invasion! We're going on the pitch. We're going on the pitch. They're never going to believe us. They're never going to believe us. They're never going to believe us. We're going on the pitch. We're going on the pitch. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic mayhem scenes at Celtic Park.
David Hay, Celtic have won the Premier League title in dramatic circumstances. How on earth do you feel? I think I'm
there's a young raging Hun that's interviewing Davy Hay there. We'll give Davy Hay his say.
Because after the season we've had whereby we were a bit in different form and then towards the end there about 2 months ago we just played to hang in but the players been exceptional the last 6 weeks and all credit to the players for winning the championship.
What on earth did you tell your players before today's game? Because they played in spectacular form, didn't they?
First off, we felt that we could win there and get the goals to do it but at half time what I felt was we heard that Dundee were winning 1-0 and then there was a wee bit of lapse in the whole atmosphere here, but fortunately Dundee got the 2 goals at the end.
Could you honestly believe it was within your capabilities today to pull it off?
Yes and no, I felt we could do it, but we still had to hope for Hearts would beat, and that happened.
What about the support? They went mad at the full-time whistle, didn't they?
Well, no, just now. They're the best in the land. I've always said this. They've supported us through the lean times this season, kept their faithful support going, and pleased for them as much as for Celtic, the club.
You're quite an assuming chap, David Hay. Will you have a bit of a party tonight?
I'll have a few drinks, I think.
A few drinks.
Well done.
Thanks very much.
Mr. Davy Hay, absolutely brilliant.
Celebrations continue despite
fantastic scenes at Old Celtic Park.
None of these Celtic supporters have noticed the difference, and I'm sure the players feel exactly the same. Well, these are the happy scenes which looked impossible just about a week ago, but in a tremendous finish to the season, Celtic going 14 league games undefeated. They've come through in the end to win in the last possible.
There's not hundreds of coppers getting folk back off the pitch, is there?
Left when they got the news from Dens Park about Dundee beating Hearts. The celebrations began, they've been going on ever since. The rain teeming down and the Celtic players now going right round the stadium in their lap of honour. And on the performance this afternoon, they're certainly worthy champions.
At the moment, it's very hard to believe. That's the whole season we've been hanging in
Big
there,
Roy.
We said 8 games ago, if we won 8 out of 8, we thought we'd win the league. Well, we won 8 out of 8. But I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's a fairy tale. It's like a book.
It's a fairy tale.
What about today? You needed to win by 3 clear goals. I mean, did you expect to score as many as 5?
We knew we had to get out and score goals. I mean, that's what Celtic are best at, get out and scoring goals. I mean, that's the point behind us. We couldn't penalty score 5. They went a bit quiet in the second half, waiting for Dundee to score. But what a roar from Dundee to score.
Tremendous. Well done, Roy.
Brilliant.
Mayhem.
Casuals are still scoring with them.
Celtic have lifted the Premier League in the most dramatic circumstances. Can you believe it?
I just can't believe it at all. I always knew we had a chance of winning it. No, Dundee done the job for us, but that was always a bit unpredictable. I knew we would go out and beat St Mirren with a few goals. We went and done it. We were backing these guys here. We've done it. And I'm just glad to say we won the championship. It's been unbelievable.
What do you make of it? It's absolute chaos.
It's mental, but I think they all deserve it. They do. It's their day.
What are you going to do tonight, Paul?
I think I'll go and have a wee drink. Celebrate.
Well done.
Thanks,
What amazing scenes and what a remarkable match, and our besieged report.
Tommy Burns.
Tommy Burns going through. Still Burns going all the way, and he's got
penalty.
down by Miller.
Well,
Just
Miller
outside
gone
the
mental.
box.
Something that never changed, did it?
Miller thinks that Burns dived.
Burns dived.
All that he
Whatever.
did, it was thoroughly convincing. He appeared to me to be brought down by the Aberdeen skipper.
Got to remember that this is at a time where Aberdeen were actually quite good. It was just before, obviously, Fergie went to Manchester United, and Aberdeen were doing things in European football which Celtic weren't at the time.
But Burns showing lots of confidence and control as he went through that ruck of Aberdeen players, eventually brought down by Miller.
Poor Jim White was raging. He
Chances
was,
don't
wasn't he?
come any better from set pieces around the box.
I thought that was a penalty, wasn't it?
So Dunn has lined up his wall.
Penalties.
A huge one at that.
Football's gone downhill since we lost the moustache.
In the rehearsed move. There's McLeod. Deflection.
Deflection. In the back of the net.
And Celtic are back on level terms.
Do you think do you think that when we're watching these games and it's quite physical, the tackles, but players aren't as close? Do you think that the modern manager has taken the funky out of football? Do you think that the modern manager has taken the finesse out of football? Scottish football is just not the same as what it used to be. I mean, why is it so physical now? Arms and elbows in the face and everything, and you don't get that. The rest of European football seems to have kept on going with the trajectory that it was always going to go. It's an entertaining, as where Scottish football has maybe speed up and it's faster. The players are faster, but the physicality of the players is better. But that comes with modern technology and the boots and everything. But I think that the modern day manager, is one very defensive minded, and they feel that they need this aggressive play. Now, the aggressive play was obviously brought in the 1990s with the manager that came into a certain team across the city. But I just think it's weird in just the space of 5 years the game in Scotland changed so much. Daisy Duke had a pair of these shots.
The chance was always on from the free kick. Played shot by McStay. Father McLeod driving the ball into the ruck of players.
Tell you one, it was some hit by McLeod.
With no chance
straight off the train and pitched that one. David Hay special.
Thoroughly relieved, I've no doubt, to be back.
Absolutely right. Tremendous comeback by Celtic down.
Yeah, tremendous comeback by Celtic.
Again by Bonner, not as well hit. Very much slightly higher than Aiken's penalty, but again, truly of the goalkeeper.
Look at that head of hair with Peter Grant. What a head of hair with Peter Grant there, eh? Jesus. We've seen this goal. We need to remember, Aberdeen were in European football, doing a lot more than what Celtic were back then. I mean, Celtic were always, you didn't even want to talk about what happened in Europe back then with Celtic, but Aberdeen, I mean, they had some team for European football, and then, the 1980s for them was a bit of the glory years, wasn't it?
And given their supporters a very good excuse to go delirious for the rest of the night. Willie McStay. On a McLeod, inviting ball, and David Neary's behind that, and just coming in at the back to him, the very menacing form.
Skull Cup many moons ago was that.
On a McLeod to take this. Up goes a big figure of McGugan, and it's in there. I think it was McClare who got it. Both McClare.
Wait a minute, where have we seen that manoeuvre before? Where have we seen this manoeuvre?
On a McLeod, inviting ball, and David Neary's behind that, and just coming in at the back to him, the very menacing form of Brian McClare.
Right, watch out for this manoeuvre.
To take this. Up goes a big figure of McGugan, and it's in there. I think it was McClare who got
Watch.
it.
Wait a minute. I bloody knew Graham Murty was a Tim. Where have we seen this before? That's what Graham Murty was doing when he was Rangers manager. He was paying homage to Celtic from 1985-86. Graham Murty, take a bow. We know you're one of us.
Both McClare and Will Johnson went for that.
Jesus.
Not that the Celtic
Absolutely
supporters are
fantastic,
particularly
that one.
caring. And that excellent start, 3 minutes gone. And
Yep,
who got
Dundee
the
United
final
were good back
touch?
then.
Both of the strikers went for it. It was a kind of cooperative.
Back in those days, Jim McLean, it was the McLean brothers. It was McLean who owned Dundee United, and it was Jim McLean who managed the club. They would put players on 10-year contracts back then, so to try and stop people coming in and buying their players. They would put players on 10-year contracts, which is unbelievable and unthinkable in the modern day and age. But it was a fantastic time, and it was a way of protecting the youth protecting players that came through the youth system, and they would put players on 10-year contracts, which is just unbelievable in this day and age.
Parade of effort. Well, pays your money, you take your choice, but I think McClear is... It's a gift.
Old United ground when they used to fill the corners. Old standing. Kevin Gallagher for Dundee United. He was a cracking player, wasn't he? He was a cracking player.
24 minutes gone, and a defence that's looked extremely nervous suddenly finds himself 2 down. Over it went,
right through his
right
legs.
through the legs, and bang. And Celtic can hardly believe that has happened.
And look at the space they've got in there.
Possession, here's Paul McStay.
Rocket.
A perfect finish.
What a player he was. He needs some more time on the screen. McStay was just sublime. McStay was just unbelievable as a Celtic player. I think that anybody that managed to watch football back then, you would have seen a special player. And but remember, the McStay family at the time, I mean, they were embedded in Celtic. They were absolutely embedded in Celtic. And every boy, I think every boy that was born from the McStay family played for Celtic. That reminds me of Paul Lambert. Could you say that? I mean, it's in the modern day, it's a Callum McGregor type shot, isn't it? Callum McGregor from right outside the box coming in. I wonder if Callum McGregor looks back to Paul McStay videos and watches the runs that he makes into the box and the runs into the area, or if he just concentrates on his own game. I would love to interview Cal Mack and see and just look at the comparison to the type of goals that Paul McStay scored from outside of the box compared to the ones that Callum does. I'm watching this because this was my Celtic team growing up. This was my Celtic team growing up. It was just first players almost that Fergie decided to take down from Celtic to Manchester United with him to get his glory years started at Man United. It's interesting that he did take McClear, a Celtic player, and he didn't really take any Aberdeen players, did he? Nighttime game at Celtic Park.
Kennedy, and it's a beautiful goal by McClear. So typical, breaking the deadlock and out of virtually nothing. I mean, how many balls have we seen already tonight like this?
I mean, that's a cross.
And it quickly coped with by the Motherwell defence, except on that one occasion, and that is all that man needs. A man, in my estimation, who should certainly be included in Scotland's international squad.
That's a fantastic idea. That is a fantastic idea, that going right round the Celtic end. Each turnstile is named after a player. Never mind the numbers. You could put the names of Celtic greats above every single turnstile going right around the home end of the stadium. That's a fantastic idea.
Hesitated. Away go Motherwell again.
Alan Ruff, one of the worst keepers ever. Leave big Ruffy Lane.
Really playing well now, Motherwell. White is still in play, although that was very slow by the fullback again, Wishart. He really has to part with the ball quicker. He had players on the left of him, and now Mo Johnson. There's a brilliant ball. Aiken goes in. Can he make it? He's done it. A brilliant goal.
That was an unbelievable run for Roy Aiken.
No wonder Johnson wants to embrace him.
You see, rewind this back a little bit. What a run. Get this here.
Really playing well now, Motherwell. White.
The break
is still in play, although that was very slow by the fullback again, Wishart.
Right, what's this?
He really
has
to part with the ball quicker.
Look at him on the pitch. Look at him, he's still going.
Still going. Johnson, there's a brilliant ball. Aiken goes in. Can he make it? He's done it.
Run by Aiken.
Goal.
Unbelievable.
No wonder Johnson wants to embrace him.
That's just central defender from
That was
that
all
was an
the way down
amazing.
the park. This is
That
final
was a
goal.
run and a half.
And the
He just
defender
kept
can
on going. He was
possibly
like
score.
a tank. He was like an absolute tank, man.
Just when Mulligan had taken the initiative, look at him, calling out
pace on
for
him.
the ball. Through it went. Impeccable pass, lovely timing.
Brilliant. Absolute brilliant.
And I think it would have spoiled it if somebody had knocked that
Absolute
over seconds away from penalties. There it is. It's going to be a penalty finish.
That'll be a penalty finish.
In the latter stages of the game, as Brian McClare makes it 1-1.
Well, it is.
Now watch the
box
reaction of the goalkeeper. He was totally
that one was just
wrong-footed,
unbelievable, wasn't it?
but he seemed to be not footed. 2-2. He's really got to put this one away. It's in.
Well, I was unlucky there, wasn't it?
A little
2-3-5.
sporting gesture to the Celtic supporters, you might say. That's 3-3, but of course Celtic have that advantage. A very good effort indeed by Bonner. I think the skid beat him.
Unlucky.
Paul McStay,
Paul McStay with the penalty.
who very rarely misses. McStay against Gardner.
In the
it
back
goes.
of the net. In the back of the net.
And Celtic, nevertheless, at 4-3 on the verge
Real attacking
of the
football.
Skull
I
Cup
think it was
final.
really.
Sweetly in by McStay.
His teams weren't as defensive minded. They weren't playing with five at the back. They weren't sitting back. They were more. When you watch some of these games, the defenders would pick up a striker. I mean, you were playing two strikers up front in that time. So your defenders would pick up the strikers. Your wing backs would pick up the wingers. Do you know, it was unbelievable style of football, and I still say that I think that the goodness has been taken out of the Scottish game. Here, look, Joseph.
And for Motherwell,
Paddy Bonner saves this one. Oh,
and it goes.
Oh my goodness, it goes to.
We're now 4-4.
4-4.
And Tommy Burns could put Celtic in the Skull Cup final
Tommy.
with this one kick.
Tommy Towns.
That brought the scores level.
Big pressure. Tommy Burns. Big pressure, man. He knew what it was like to play for Celtic.
It could
he
be
knew what it
the
meant
final
for the
kick
fans.
of the evening.
Tommy Burns to put us through the Skull
Means a
Cup
lot to Celtic
final,
and
he
to
does
Tommy
it.
Burns.
Oh,
There it is.
Penalty that
And for the
was.
second tie in
There's that
succession,
iconic picture.
Celtic
There is that
have gone
iconic
through on
picture.
penalty decisive.
How many
Very
times?
rarely missed.
How
To
many
Celtic
times have we
and to
saw
Tommy Burns.
this
There it is.
picture of Tommy Burns over
And for
the
the
years?
second tie in succession.
How many times have we saw this picture of Tommy Burns? Absolutely iconic picture of Tommy Burns. A beautiful, beautiful picture, and you just know what it meant to him as a player. Unbelievable, unbelievable.
Celtic have gone through on penalty deciders to the great delight of the fans and the players. And so Celtic go forward to the Skull Cup final on the 26th of October, which we are delighted to say will be seen live.
Covering every blade of grass here to try to take control of the match for Celtic. Finding it very difficult indeed. There's Willie McStay, now McInally. Second chance for McInally. Shepherd. Johnston. That's the breakthrough.
There's a bit of Griffiths about
5
Johnston
minutes
when you
into
see
the
him.
second half. Mo
I've never
Johnston
really thought about it like that. But
collects his 13th goal of the season.
there is a bit when we were talking about Lee Griffiths this morning. There is a little bit of similarity to the way that Johnston used to play and Lee Griffiths used to play, just being in there and in and around the 6-yard box. We miss that from strikers, don't we? I mean, Kyogo kind of had it, but you know, it wasn't as I don't know. I don't know.
But it was down to McInally who took that pass to Willie McStay, then down to Tony Shepherd, He turned the shot well beyond money off the post, and there was Johnston with the easiest of tap-ins.
I can burn you, you dirty fucking turncoat, fucking wangle.
Shown to Pat Bonner. McInally's header. There's a chance on now for Tony Shepherd, but McClare took it away from him. There's McInally. Another fine deep cross. Murdo McLeod's there. So it's McClare.
That was a bullet for McClare, wasn't it?
Superbly taken by Brian McClare.
That was a bullet.
But again, down to the crossing ability of Alan McInally.
We do this. The thing is they stole the boo from us. There's nothing original for that mob across the city, isn't it? I mean, we were the first one to boo Mo Johnson, and then they just stole it and used it every week.
Ball taken by McClure away from Shepherd. Now just watch the way McInally makes space for a cross. This deep outswinger met by Murdo McLeod. The header across the face of the goal, the easiest of tasks for Brian McClure. Money had no chance at all.
Own a boozer. Tommy Burns used to own a boozer. Tommy Burns I was speaking to a guy at St Patrick's Day weekend who knew Tommy Burns, and he was quite a businessman. I didn't realise he was quite a wee businessman, was Tommy Burns. Quite a fantastic businessman. He had a boozer and he had some other businesses. And just a strange thing. See, the thing is I couldn't name a single. Not that I know that I paid attention to Sevco players, but I mean, there was players from Celtic went to play in European countries, and I couldn't mention one from across the city that went across. But anyway, just shows the quality that Celtic had at the time. Absolutely cracking goal, and that's it. That is it. I need to jump back screens now, don't I? That is it. That's that finished. Let's jump back to the main screen. That was a fantastic watch. That was an absolutely fantastic watch. Looking back at the 1985-86 season. Looking back at the 1985-86 season. Some amount of goals and some players. Some absolutely fantastic players. Henry dropped the ball, Smith. Jesus. Jesus, that was something else. That. Anyway, thanks for watching along with that. Well, the thing of football players done back then, they put their money into boozers or something because they weren't getting paid megabucks. Yep, they used to get their testimonials, and put the money into boozers and open up other businesses, which is completely different. Get the Leo Griffiths goals up now, Baz. That's me done and dusted. That was brilliant. We'll do this again. We might do this on the odd Thursday night. Or an afternoon. Might do this in the afternoon. This might be a new thing in the afternoon, as long as it didn't get demonetised. We'll soon find out in about an hour's time. You're going to try and do this every Sunday? Yes, Stephen, why not? Yeah, we'll do this if Celtic aren't playing, obviously. If Celtic aren't playing, we'll do it. There is a couple of Sunday games coming up. But if we don't do it on a Sunday, we will do it on other nights. And then we'll just wait and see how long before it gets copied like everything else on the channel. Anyway, have a fantastic day. Fantastic memories there. Do the centenary season. Yep, that's one of the ones that I want to do. Centenary season was the big season for me. It was the season that I left school. It was a fantastic year, 1988. 1988 was absolutely fantastic. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this. I'll see you back tomorrow morning. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are.